Conspiracy theories and NASCAR go together almost as well as racing and wine. We'll take you back to '91, when the leader crossed the finish line first, but somehow ended up outside victory lane.
We're sitting in victory lane, and here comes Ricky trying to get into victory lane.
I don't understand it. Never in my life seen anything like it.
It's the only time I remember in the sports history that a win was actually taken away from the winner.
They're going to take this race back away from y'all. They're not going to let this happen.
Around the Turn, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
Today, from the wine country of the Sonoma Valley of Northern California. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bob Jenkins, and welcome to Sears Point, a demanding 2.5-mile road course.
I remember Sonoma, we had an awfully good race car, and we were actually leading the race with about 2 or 3 laps to go.
The question is, can Rudd catch Davey Allison?
Every time we went to Sonoma, we always had a good run out there. I remember we were always competitive, and we got fresh tires, and we were coming through the field and made up ground and worked our way back up towards the front with just, a few laps to go. I didn't know if we had enough time to catch Davey. We were running out of time, and I just remember we were coming up on the white flag lap.
Allison leads Rudd down through the S's. It's Dave Marcus just ahead of Davey.
We got hung up behind Dave Marcus, who was actually a lap-down car in the 71 car, and it held Davey up just enough that Ricky Rudd was able to get to our rear bumper.
In the Rudd is there. 11 Owens! Davey Allison is spun.
And I remember coming into turn 11, and I got to really go hard, so that was the one of the big passing points was in the brake zone coming into turn 11. So I basically came in there really hot, out of control, committed to going as deep as I could. And we touched, and Benny did sort of a half spin and got it gathered up, came right in behind me, came around, took the white flag.
Davey got going and got back in line. They had a big enough lead on the rest of the field that we fell back in second behind Ricky, but all of a sudden Robert Yates, who monitored NASCAR, said they're not going to give Ricky Rudd the win. So tell Davey he's the leader of the race.
And Ricky Rudd is going to receive the win of the Banquet Frozen Foods 300. Here he comes, waving to the pit crew as he passes by. The black flag is shown to Ricky Rudd. Rudd is shown the black flag. Davey Allison is shown the checkered flag.
Instead of seeing a checker flag, I saw a black flag. And I'm thinking, what? And I've never seen that before, and what's going on here?
They shouldn't have thrown the black flag, they just should have thrown the BS flag, because that's what that was. Those guys got into each other, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's happened 20 million times in NASCAR history, and they've never done anything about it except one time, one single time.
We're not going to say a word. We're going to enjoy this victory. We're going to celebrate. We're going to go through post-race inspection. If we go over there and start staking our claim, that means we're making a statement that we're doubting that we won the race. We just need to go through the motions and do everything just like we took the checkered flag first and we won the race.
I'll never forget after the race how Waddell and Waddell's son, they didn't take it very well, and they actually had words with the Francis, and it was very heated for those guys. I mean, it was a lot of pushing and shoving and screaming and yelling.
I don't understand this. I've been racing since '63, and this is about one of the calls I've seen made in a long time. And if they're going to take this away from us, this is totally wrong. I've seen it happen time and time again through the years, and they've never taken a race from no one yet doing this. If they do this, this is rotten.
I guess probably when he said he was ready to quit and give it up, it hurt. I mean, you live, breathe, sleep racing, and you live for those days to contend for a win, and then it's just like someone ripped your heart out. And I know where he came from. I was right there with him. I was ready to do the same.
It was an accident. I got into Davey. It was my fault, yeah. He was a lead car, and I got into him. But I didn't get a black flag until a white flag lap, and I don't know. I just fed up with this mess.
NASCAR felt that they had to do something. They made the decision. I'm sure they were all up there discussing it, bantering back and forth. What do we do? He just took this race from Davey Allison, legally or illegally.
Under race procedures, where penalties are imposed during the contest or in this incident after the contest is over, it's a non-appealable, non-protestable decision. It's final.
You know, it was their ball game and their rule book, and he didn't want any conversation. It was Davy's win, and that was it. I don't think we probably found out till the next morning that it said we finished second.
I think the amount of time that it took to get around the road course probably was a factor.
The length of the time it takes to run a lap at Sonoma gives them plenty of time to determine what it is they're going to do. And so they must have stewed on it somewhat when they made the final call. Even with that length of time, if you look at the incident, it didn't look like anything different you've seen in that turn at Sonoma so many times. I mean, would they determine the flagrancy while the lap was going on? I don't know. I haven't seen it since.
You know, that was, I don't know how many years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it was a good while back. You know, it's water under the bridge now, so, you know, all in all, you know, it was a great career for me, and I'm just thankful that I had the chance to compete at the top level. But that was one day out of many, out of 900 races.